Hey, good late morning, Three Rivers Church. Hope you guys are doing well. And any folks who may be visiting us this Sunday, or you're going to check this out and you're going to show up this Sunday, as we reminded you this past Sunday, Keith Thompson and I are going to be team teaching in our dialogue for the sermon, the passage for this week as we study through the book of Genesis. And this week it's Genesis chapter 38, which is the narrative of the story. It's the narrative of Judah and Tamar. And this passage is difficult. It's explicit in some places, and it introduces some things that are they're going to be a little bit of a challenge to work through, but we're going to work through them. And we're coming at this understanding that the Old Testament is Christian scripture with a Christian worldview, understanding that their tributaries, arcs are going to point us to the gospel and aspects of the gospel, but it's got some difficult things in it. So as we said last week, I want to remind you, make sure your kids, if some of you decide, you sometimes bring your kids into worship, and we do that regularly on purpose, 1st through 5th grade, to teach them to be with us and to learn and be discipled by us in the corporate gathering. This Sunday is not one of those Sundays. That was last week. We encourage you to make sure your little ones are in kids ministry this week, and make sure that's there, because we're going to do our very best to be delicate and tactful. But the text is just difficult and explicit in some places, and so we don't want to introduce concepts and ideas too quickly to little ones. But it's going to be a challenge for us, and just want to remind you that that's coming up. Also, during the time, you're going to have a chance to live text your questions, and Pastor Emmett's going to be bringing those to bear as they're relevant there. We also recognize we're going to not be able to do absolutely everything in this time. And so there'll be questions we can't get to. There'll be parts of the passage we can't get to. But we recognize that's going to open opportunity for us to continue the dialogue on that and do another first Sunday on it as well. And so just want to put this out there for you guys. Make sure you're aware. It's going to be a really good time, good opportunity to be equipped and address the passage and address our world with relevant topics from the text applied today. So the scriptures are always relevant, always addressing stuff, and this passage is no different. So it's going to teach us how to think like a Christian, how to read the Old Testament like a Christian, how to see Jesus, and how to address our world. So I hope you guys will be present. Looking forward to it. Hope you'll have a great rest of your Wednesday. Out.